Hey everybody, Sarah here. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. If you are new here, welcome and thank you so much for tuning into this video, tuning into this channel. I upload faith-based teaching videos every single Wednesday and we go through books of the Bible. We talk about marriage and singleness and prayer. Just anything that the Lord places on my heart is going to help you grow in your walk with Him. So please consider subscribing right here so that you never miss another video. So we just finished a series on the book of Ruth and the Lord has kind of flipped the switch on me a little bit and we are gonna do a series on faith. If you watched the series on faith, and if you haven't, I'll make sure I'll link it up top in the cards, whichever side it comes on. And I mentioned quite a bit of faith and how, Ruth stepped into the unknown, into the unfamiliar. And as believers, we are called to live by faith alone. But in all honesty, living by faith is not easy. 9 times out of 10, it's not going to make sense. And that's okay. Because if it makes sense, then it's not faith. My favorite quote by Cornelius Lindsay is, faith don't make sense and sense don't make faith. When you live a life of faith, your life is not supposed to make sense. You're gonna look crazy to some people, and that's okay. So I wanna do this series to encourage you, to give you some biblical examples. We're gonna lay a foundation for faith next week. Then we're gonna go through some biblical examples of people who have walked by faith. I know I'm not the only one whose life does not look like everybody else's, whose life does not make sense. I've shared my story before on this channel and I'll put that up top in the cards as well for you guys to check it out. And God has thrown me yet another curveball. You guys know that once I finished my master's degree that I went on an 18-month wilderness season with the Lord where I didn't work for 18 months and I had 2 whole entire degrees. And I worked for almost 3 years, and just recently the Lord made it abundantly clear that it was time for me to leave that job, which I was totally fine with, but I did not have another job lined up. That is crazy, to be an almost 30-year-old woman, to leave one job and to not have another job lined up. And 2 weeks ago was my last day at that job and I still don't have a job. And I don't even have an interview lined up yet. I'm looking, but that's what happens when you live your life of faith. God tells you to do something and you have the choice to obey, or you have the choice to disobey and suffer the consequences that are going to come with your disobedience. I could have stayed at my job, but I chose to go God's route. That makes no sense, where I look absolutely crazy. It's not the first time that I look crazy, and I'm sure it won't be the last time. So I just want to do a dedicated series on faith, because I know I am not the only one that is determined to live by faith despite what I see, despite what I experience, despite what I go through. Let me know in the comment sections below, what does your faith journey look like? What has God told you to do that looks absolutely crazy to other people? So make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any videos for this series. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what the Lord does through this. And until next week's video, grace and peace.